The Bucks and Pacers, they're set to meet in the first round of the playoffs for the second consecutive season. They'll actually start the 2025 NBA playoffs with the first game on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And hey, Pacers fans, it's not on NBA TV. So that's good. Oh. That's big. Pacers went 4-1 in the 5 meetings last season, followed by that 4-2 victory in the first round. Of course, Giannis didn't play in the playoffs. Things have flipped this season, so far at least. Bucks took 3 of 4 in the regular season, and the Greek Freak, he's playing, and man, he's playing some of the best basketball of his damn career with the numbers he's putting up. So, number 4 Pacers versus the number 5 Bucks. We run it back. Trey, you get us started here. What's one thing you're watching for in this series?
I guess the starting lineup. There's still buzz that Damian Lillard could potentially return for this after suffering from deep vein thrombosis at the end of March. Seems unlikely to me, but I don't know. They're keeping the door open at the very least. The good thing for the Bucks is that Giannis is slated to be playing in these games. He's played 3 total playoff games since 2022, and that's the question for me. Can Giannis win this series by himself? Because without Dame, I don't know who else is really going to be a big scorer from Milwaukee. Giannis is clearly their biggest advantage. I think almost every other matchup tilts towards Indiana in this one, but Giannis, 30, 12, and 8, shooting 65% from the field against Indiana this season. Also a terrible matchup for Indiana because after the All-Star break, Indiana is 28th in points in the paint allowed. That's what the Bucks got to do. They got to ride Giannis. He's got to average probably 35, close to 40 points per game, and he's got to have the ball every single time because that's the way they can slow down the Pacers. This is a big pace series. To me, the Bucks do not want to see Indiana running, so a smart thing to do, give it to your huge guys and take up a whole bunch of time. It's like a running back. Just give them the ball. Yep. 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. We're going for it on 4th down. Tush push. That's what it's going to have to be.
Brook Lopez tush push. Let's go.
Wow, what about the Portis push?
Oh, that works as well.
Yeah, it's also good. But I think they got to play slow. They got to go to the free throw line, and Giannis has to make these free throws. They got to make it ugly. Otherwise, I think the Pacers could run away with it.
Yeah. Can't help but think of football when you think of these two teams. That was the Tyrese Halliburton play that they set up in the corner to get Giannis, foul him, and hit that game winner earlier this week.
They legit ran a football play. It's a good point.
Yeah. So
it would be game 1 in Milwaukee if he didn't hit that shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. These are two similar teams when it comes to that long ago, but compared to last year, this Bucks team is totally different. I mean, they were running out some odd lineups last year where they didn't have Giannis, obviously, but they were starting Patrick Beverley, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis had to start, and Damian Lillard, who's not going to start, I assume, this series here. So it's just very, very different, but they lack athleticism, as you mentioned, Trey. The Pacers, if they're just going to run it down the Bucks' throats, that's going to be a problem. Can Taurean Prince and Brook Lopez and Giannis get back enough? And that's why they went to a weird zone defense to end games this last month or so. With Giannis playing the 5, they went Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent, AJ Green, and Bobby Portis. Zone it up, be as athletic as possible, and score enough. Mm-hmm. And it is vastly different. Those guys I just mentioned, a lot of them coming off the bench. Last year, that Bucks bench was terrible in this series. They were so bad. No one had a 10-point game in the playoffs off the bench. Like Pat Connaughton was playing, Jay Crowder was playing, Danilo Gallinari was playing, Andre Jackson.
And TJ McConnell was kicking their ass.
Yeah.
Was he not? He was amazing.
Those guys are friggin' old as molasses.
Gallinari was in the league last year.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and they're playing zone just to keep him able to play some defense. Andre Jackson was part of the rotation off the bench. Now he's gone. AJ Green was the other guy who's supposedly better, as I mentioned, playing those end-of-game zone defenses. That's what they're going to go to try and stop this Pacers team. And Giannis is going to be playing the 5 and just hope. Because they do look different. The Bucks bench does look different. They can't score. Kevin Porter Jr. has looked really good recently, offensively.
I'm watching Siakam's elbow, which I sort of had forgotten about. He injured not too long ago, and he's been bad for the last little bit here. Probably hampered by it, his right elbow. Scoring 18 points per game, can't hit a 3 right now, so I don't know what the impact that's having, but he needs to be big because he was a monster in that series last year. He started games 1 and 2 with 36 and 37 points respectively, and has played well against the Bucks even in the regular season, despite maybe not winning a lot of these games. So Siakam is important. I mean, it's Halliburton gets obviously his face and his image on the thumbnails for this series, but Siakam is an all-star and has played in a ton of playoff games and has played well in a ton of playoff games and is important, I think, for the Pacers to try and repeat what they did last year, going pretty far. So wonder how bad that hurts, or if this was just a sort of just rest them down the stretch here and get them ready to go for the postseason. X factors in this, either side, TK.
I think it's all the dice roll guys for the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm talking about Kevin Porter Jr., Kyle Kuzma, and Gary Trent Jr. I think the Bucks just need those guys to hit more often than they don't. They've got so many more variance guys than Indiana does. And without Dame Lillard, which when I'm making my picks and predictions here, I'm factoring in no Lillard on this one.
He's going to play. I mean, hold on. If he plays with blood thinners, you're not supposed to travel and stuff like that. Could it be a case where he just plays maybe in Milwaukee? Is that a possibility?
I guess it's not a very long car drive.
I guess, yeah, that's true. Just jump on
5 hours
bus
would be my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I don't think he's going to play.
Same. I'm assuming he's not going to play when I'm factoring in this, which is why specifically Kevin Porter Jr. is a huge player. I think in this series for Milwaukee, he could win you a quarter, but they might need him to win several quarters. He's so up and down, but he's a good athlete. He's a good creator with the ball in his hands, and the Pacers will do everything they can to stop Giannis and live with anybody else. And he's the guy, I think, that is most likely to be able to create something when plays break down. I guess Portis is a little bit like that as well, but he's a masher sort of player, just like Brook Lopez is. So Lopez and Portis got to play well, but I think they need to have a surprisingly great series from Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah, as far as the defenders go without Damian Lillard in there, you're starting Ryan Rollins, most likely. And he's a decent defensive player. He's going to be guarding Tyrese Halliburton, so that's better than what happened last year in this series. Kyle Kuzma is probably going to be guarding Pascal Siakam. It's better than the options they had last year, throwing out Bobby Portis last year a lot at him. So I think defensively they should be better. It's such a questionable team because Indiana just kicked their ass running fast break points. They're plus 52 in last year's series, and that just killed them. Mm-hmm. So will they be able to get back is the biggest question. And then they're probably going to go to Kevin Porter Jr. to end games a lot. It is high variable players. You get some good, you can get some real bad amongst the KPJ and Gary Trent and AJ Green. There's so many of those guys. Kevin Porter Jr., those numbers to end the season, he's playing great. There's no doubt. Last 5 games, 20 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, 50 and 44 from the floor. 50% from the field, 44% from 3. And that's just 5 games. So I think, that's nothing. But the last 15 games, 13, almost 5 boards and 4 assists on 39 from the 3-point line and 48 from the field overall. Yeah, the question is, can these guys come through in the playoffs? It's a fair question. There's just so many high variable players.
And we think of the Pacers as run and gun and an awesome offensive team, and they are that, top 10 in the league overall, and have even turned it on as of late. But once they got Nesmith back, once they got Andrew Nembhard back, they're actually a pretty solid defense too. Those guys are elite defenders, so I can't wait to see them try and shut off some of these Bucks players. But it comes down to what you said at the beginning, I think, Trey. It's it does feel like it's Giannis versus a very deep Pacers team that have a lot of guys who we should note have also Benedict Mathurin now. They didn't have him in last year's playoffs. He is there. He's a guy that lives at the line. He gets there, so he puts pressure on the other team, gets them into foul trouble a little bit, and that's where he goes. So they've just got so many guys, the Pacers. But can Giannis just be the example of, well, don't overthink it when it comes to a series. Who's got the better player, the better superstar? But it's them, and no one would deny that. The Pacers wouldn't deny that. The Pacers fans wouldn't deny that. But is that enough? And what does he need to put up? You're saying, it's got to be 35, 40 in at least 4 of these games.
Well, he averaged 30 a game for the season, so
you want him
to go up.
Yeah,
he has to go up.
Yeah, I don't know. Prediction: where are you going?
We've barely talked about Tyrese Halliburton at all. In this series. Pacers are 25-3 when that guy scores 20 or more points. He was awesome the second half of the season. He might make a run at an all-NBA team, and I don't necessarily know that the Bucks have a great matchup for him. Rollins, maybe. He's a little small. Prince, I think, will get a lot of time on him as well, but I think it's going to be a Pacers series here. I think this one feels like a toss-up if Lillard is playing to me, but no Lillard. I'm going Pacers in 6.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a tough call. I find it hard to bet against my countryman, Giannis Antetokounmpo, losing for the Milwaukee Bucks 3 straight times in the first round is it's just hard to imagine. But, yeah, the Damian Lillard factor is a factor. And I wonder if this Ryan Rollins, Kyle Kuzma versus Tyrese Haliburton, Pascal Siakam is a bit of a bonus for them, just if Giannis can carry them offensively, really. But defensively, at least they know what they're doing, and then they're going to throw out, again, a zone to really finish games. I think Doc Rivers is going to be pulling that baby out. So I'm betting on Giannis. It's tough. It's tough in this matchup to see this Pacers team. That was freaking rolling. 40-17 their last 57 games. It's freaking awesome. And to add in Benedict Mathurin, like you said, that's a freaking great team. But I'm taking Giannis. I'm taking them in 7 to win in Indiana.
Wow. Okay.
Why not? I mean, it is a quick trip. As you were talking about Damian Lillard getting in a car, it feels like a home game to
Consider
them.
5 hours a quick trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
In
It's
America?
a quick, long trip.
A quick long trip. Okay.
Yeah.
You can stop at Quick Trip for some snacks
Sure.
on the ride.
So you're going Bucks
Yeah.
in 7.
Win it in Indiana.
Isn't it something like Giannis's Bucks have won one playoff series since the championship?
Yes.
Wild.
Yeah, it must be
That is
22, right?
crazy to think of when you
Steps
have
to
it.
success.
No, he obviously hasn't been there in some of it, or banged up in some of it, but that's crazy. All right, I like that we're a little different here with TK taking the Pacers. You got the Bucks. I am going Pacers in 7, so I think it's going to be a very long series. But I'll take that home court advantage for Indiana in Game 7. And I just think over the course of the series, that depth and more guys in Siakam and Haliburton. We didn't even mention Miles Turner, who's played really well this season, in all honesty. That depth is just going to outclass Giannis, really. And then these supporting players. Like, you're telling me Kevin Porter Jr.'s got to be important?
He does. But
And he does.
Kuzma?
And I agree. Kuzma, he does.
Championship.
Yeah, like even Bobby Porter Jr.
But last year, their depth was stinky. As
yeah,
I said.
Lillard and
yeah.
Giannis were out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lillard played part of it.
Yeah.
And so Giannis gets in there, so their depth is way better.
It's
Yeah,
better.
for sure. But
Look,
I'm
it's
just saying,
better. This is
their
gonna be a
depth,
series.
Their depth was very bad last year, and so it's questionable this year, but it can't get worse. Then their guys off the bench at Pat Connaughton, Jay Crowder, Danilo Gallinari, Andre Jackson, they weren't scoring.
Yeah. I just think both teams are better than what we saw last year in the
This
first
is
round.
true.
The way Pacers have played recently, and of course, obviously, the Bucks having their guys back, at least Giannis. So I got Pacers in 7. What do the people say
It's
on
a
this
tough one.
Where are they going?
The people are saying 54% for the Indiana
Wow.
Pacers.
Okay, so it's very tight. Almost a coin flip.
54-45.
Okay.
Just never adds up.
I'm excited,
4
man.
hours and 43 minutes from Milwaukee to Indiana.
Oh, okay. It is shorter.
Wait a second. This just went to Indiana. Indianapolis looks like it's a little bit longer.
You just hit the border.
I gotta add Polis.
Yeah, now I need to know.
Indianapolis. Wait, how's it faster? That doesn't make sense.
Whoa.
Didn't go as far east. 4 hours and 19 minutes via I-65.
Okay.
One
more
of the most
highways.
boring highways to drive on.
Really?
I-65 through Indiana. Yeah.
Just
There's
fields.
nothing.
Yeah.
There is nothing. There's corn.
Corn. Yeah.
There's more than just corn in Indiana. Shout out to Indiana Beach, but you don't see any of it when you're driving on I-65.
I believe it. I've only been there once. And got on that highway even. There was nothing happening.
All right. Well, we don't think Lillard's playing, but maybe he'll be driving through cornfield. We'll see. Let's hear your predictions. Obviously, drop them in the YouTube comments below.